anatomy, the tail is cylindrical in form. It expands in the form of a cone, but is slightly flattened from above. This expansion is moulded at the head of the cave-like body, the corpus cavernosum, extending further on the upper than on the lower surfaces. Residuum that accumulates on the slopes of these lower surfaces is a result of the occasional torrent of seminiferous material. These deposits create these supersaturated ripples and folds that reflect the flow of the stigmergic pathways. These draperies then are made up of the endless precipitations that have encrusted into layers which eventually form themselves into outcrops, the niches of shared interest that make up the seedbed of the tail. And this seedbed is what I call the caudal plane, from the Latin caudatus, meaning tail. The Latin for head, by the way, is caput, from which we get the word capital. And the head of the mass market, that market of mass, has disubstantiated. Its stock stepped out of its closed, immobile forms, and as the dimensionist predicted, vaporized, and is now ascending up into the atmosphere, up into the cloud. And the tail, like the metaphysical silver cord, tethers the now cumulopt head to our gross bodies down below. And all along its length travel all our recorded thoughts, deeds, actions and desires, rising up to be stored in the clouds above. So as above, so below, the head and tail in a larger ecology of mind. A continuous feedback loop producing and consuming itself. And this single vast mechanism comes to resemble the ancient symbol of the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. The Ouroboros, the symbol of eternal return, the great cosmic loop. So I've been immersed in these reflections for some time. Like I said, it's over a year since I gave these talks. And I find that day to day, left to my own devices, the power of the long tail is becoming increasingly more extraordinary. It seems that I can actually just wish things into existence, especially pictures. Whatever image I imagine or hope for, it seems to be already there and waiting. And I used to believe this is because I had a really good searching ability. I'm good at gathering information. That's part of what makes me a contemporary artist. But as I continue to access the realm of the tail, this serendipity starts to become something more like a kind of sixth sense. And it seems that the feedback mechanisms of the tail, through my repeated uses, has assembled a profile of my needs and desires. And from this information, the accumulation of all my deepest wishes is creating content conjured up from my subconsciousness. Like it's scraping the vaguest memories and half-forgotten images from my mind. And to me, this is like psychedelic. It's literally mind manifesting, as all my psychic energy is seemingly converted into like visible light, fluid photographs of thought, as complicated and varied as anything real, and realized in front of my very eyes. And as all my mental pictures then coagulate and contribute their mass to the already prodigious tale, I'm aware that actually they're but part of this wondrously complex cell, like memory, sight, sex, and consciousness, that is ceaselessly generating these novelties for me. And it's then I begin to realize that the tail is actually unfathomably long, that it reaches back through geological amounts of time, that it circles round and back to an archaic state of being, an aboriginal world of primal pleasures, that it's transformative technology that allows humans to morph into animals, the marvelous to become everyday, and the ancestral dead brought into our living company is like a throwback to a sense that everything that is in and of this earth is animated from within, all its constituents, the mechanical, the imagined, and the living. The caudal plane is a landscape of fabulous creatures, animal drawings endowed with divine powers and familiar objects full of voices, a landscape where even the rocks and the stones have names. The swarm begins to hum again, and it's humming a song of myself. And once more, I'm assumed by the swarm, made manifest in its multitude. I'm between like minds, swarming out and surrounding me, here, in this moment of shared mutualism. And I surrender to the attraction. I surrender to the attraction of increased pleasure, and I become transcendent in the swarm. I am of the swarm, I am the swarm, and the swarm is me.